quick legal disclaimer, because that's what I do. I am not diagnosing anyone in today's podcast episode. I know that narcissist is a term people use loosely online, and honestly, most humans will probably tick a few boxes at some point, especially under stress. So I'm not diagnosing anyone. We're not doing labels. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about boundaries. So if you've been wondering, do I need to end a relationship? What if they're not a narcissist and maybe they're just difficult? Why does it get worse the moment I set a boundary? Then this episode is for you. So, because the real question isn't what are they? It's what happens when I say no, when you test a boundary, especially if you haven't done that before. Because here is what I believe to be the truth. You don't need a diagnosis of anything to justify a boundary. A healthy-ish relationship can still have messy moments, and that's okay. But the deciding factor is capacity for repair if it's gone on for too long or it's gone too far. So instead of asking yourself, are they a narcissist? Ask maybe these three questions instead. Do they take accountability without blaming me? Do they respect my no without punishing me? Do their behaviors change over time, or do I just get better at tolerating them? If your no is met with rage, silent treatment, guilt, threats, or reality twisting, that's probably not a communication issue, and it could be a safety issue. If someone benefits from you having no boundaries, your boundary will feel like an attack to them. So, yeah, sometimes when you start holding a line, especially when you haven't done it before, that behavior may escalate. Now, that doesn't mean your boundary is wrong. It means that the boundary is working. And I want to make this a bit practical for you. So let's say step one is the boundary. A boundary isn't a debate, it's a statement. So, for example, what I mean by that is I'm not continuing this conversation while I'm being insulted. I'm not available for yelling. I'll discuss this when we're both calm, or we'll discuss this when we're both calm even. Step two, the consequence. So it's not meant to be a punishment. A consequence is what you will do. So for an example, if it continues, I'm going to hang up or I'm going to walk away. If you raise your voice again, I'm leaving the room. If you keep messaging like this, I'll respond tomorrow. Well, you might not want to respond at all, but step three is the consistency, where this can start to change everything. And I think this might be where some people mostly get stuck as well. So consistency means you don't have to explain it 12 different ways. You don't have to keep negotiating your own boundary. You want to follow through with it every time. And that might take a bit of work. And, maybe you might negotiate it for some part, but eventually you will start to follow through with your boundary. And if you're thinking that feels harsh, it's not harsh. It's clarity. And it's probably going to feel unfamiliar because it is unfamiliar. It's something new that you may not have done before. And if you are dealing with someone who twists things, one of the biggest quick wins is to stop jading. So jade stands for justifying, arguing, defending, and explaining. So you can be kind without being available for chaos. And I have some scripts that may help you. So script one, this is on the show notes as well, but you might be trying to end a heated conversation. So you might want to say something like, I'm not continuing this while we're speaking disrespectfully to each other. I'm going to step away now and we can try again later. So script 2 for a repeated boundary, I'm not available for that. That's it. That's all you say. Short, sweet, walk away. Script 3, when they flip it back onto you. So I hear that you're upset. I'm still not okay with being spoken to like that. Very, very simple, but can be very effective. So how to tell whether it's improving or not. Here is probably something to test over the next couple of weeks. Do they calm down faster? Do they repair without blaming? Do they change behavior and not just apologize? If the pattern is boundary punishment, you back down. That's not progress, that's conditioning, and that's not going to change anything. If you do want the tactics laid out even more clearly than what I have done here today, you know that I have my word for word script, I have de-escalation tools and documentation strategies. When I created my Narcissist playbook, probably need to change the name, but it works. It's like a 22-page guide to recognizing manipulation and reclaiming your power. The link for it will be in your show notes. It just goes into a lot more depth than what we have here today. But I'm hoping that puts gives you something to work with instead of going for the extreme of thinking that they're a narcissist or a toxic person, or having to go through a separation or ending relationship, whether it's a friendship or professional relationship, romantic relationship, whatever it might be, because the word is so used. We're conditioned online to think that it's not us, it's them, and they're a narcissist and you have to leave. That might not be the case at all. So I'd really suggest that you start with just these basic, simple scripts. And that is going to then give you the next stage of, okay, so how are they reacting? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is it changing? Is nothing changing? And then you can go into the next steps of like, okay, so I've given this a good crack for a couple of weeks, months. What's my next step now? So please share this with your contacts, with your friends and your families, in case there is anybody going through this. You don't know what is happening behind closed doors. So by sharing it and somebody seeing it might really help somebody in their relationship. And please remember this: you don't need a label to choose peace. You need a boundary, and then we need to give you the courage to keep it. Take care.